We've all seen those Instagram influencers and TikTok stars who seem to be living the high life through OnlyFans, right? Well, we dug deeper, and let me tell you, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. Sure, I won't deny that the hype around OnlyFans models is real, but have you guys ever wondered what's really going on behind the camera? Well, it's time to peek into what's behind the curtain and expose the dark reality that these models face. You see, behind all of those glossy filters and perfectly posted selfies, there's a dark side that's often overlooked. And in today's episode, we're doing just that. Now, we all know that OnlyFans is a platform where content creators can monetize their content and make some serious cash. And yes, I would say it's true that some models are making this. But let me ask you this. Have you ever wondered how they're spending all that money? Yup. From luxury cars to designer clothes to extravagant vacations, the lifestyle of these models can seem like a dream come true. But is it really all it's cracked up to be? Let's go through them one by one. First, let's talk about the hard reality of the financial side of these models. Yes, like we were saying, some models are making thousands, even millions of dollars. But what about the majority who are struggling to make ends meet? We don't really see the whole picture. Many models face fierce competition and struggle to maintain a steady income. They're constantly under pressure to produce more and more explicit content just to keep up with the demand. And even if they do make good money, what are they really spending it on? Obviously on materialistic things that bring temporary happiness. And how long does all that last? Not very long. But more than that, let's see how easy this money is. Well, the answer is that it is not as easy as you think. Now, suppose you are a creator who starts off first. You might start off making good money in the beginning, but you'll soon realize that you have to keep upping your game to keep that cash flow coming in. And that's where things can get dangerous. You see, the commercial sex industry operates in a way that's all about demand. The more you show, the more money you make. But where exactly do you draw the line? When do you say enough is enough? It's so easy to get sucked into the black hole of pressure to do more, show more, and push past whatever boundaries you may have established for yourself. And before you know it, you've gone further than you ever thought you would. Yes, this is the ugly truth about the economy of the sex industry. Money is fluctuating and unreliable. One day you could be making stacks, and the next day it could all disappear. And that's when the depression sets in. You start chasing those bundles, doing things you never thought you would, and that too, just to keep the cash flowing. You can look at it as some form of a vicious cycle that's hard to break free from. And it's not just about the money. With the market getting more and more filled with content creators, the competition is fierce. New girls might make a little lump of money at first, but once the polish wears off, it's either go big or go home. And that's when things can really run out of control. We've seen this happen in mainstream porn, where artists find themselves doing more hardcore content for less and less money, just to stay afloat. Next comes the self-torturing part. Now you see, it's not just the financial pressure that's taken a toll on these models, it's the impact on their mental health. You see, OnlyFans is not just about posting some sexy photos and videos, but let me tell you, it goes way beyond that. When people pay you for sexual satisfaction, they start feeling entitled to you, like they own a piece of you. Trust me, it's dehumanizing. You go from being a person to being a product, an object for their pleasure. And the comments can be vile, crude, abusive, and downright degrading. People who believe that you exist solely for their sexual gratification can be some of the most atrocious and ugliest beings. It's like being stripped of your character, and it's an experience that scars you, both mentally and emotionally. But that's not all. Interacting with your subscribers becomes your job requirement, and let me tell you, the kind of sexual harassment you'll be facing is beyond what you can imagine. People with intense sexual addiction will pressure you to perform stuff you didn't even know existed. They'll call you names and criticize you in the ugliest ways possible. You see, it's not just harassment, it's abuse. Alright, now why don't we look into something that really happened? Yes, this is going to give you more insight into what's really happening around you. Courtney Clenny. This popular OnlyFans model with a massive following of 2 million on Instagram made headlines last November. She was charged with second-degree murder after allegedly killing her boyfriend, Christian Obumseli. Now, Courtney claims it was self-defense, that Christian was controlling and abusive towards her. But here's the thing, she's been raking in millions from OnlyFans since 2020. With all that money and fame, you'd think she'd have a picture-perfect life, right? But it turns out that things aren't always what they seem on social media. It's a sharp reminder that behind the glitz and glamour of being an OnlyFans model, there could be a dark reality lurking underneath. We see those flashy posts, the lavish lifestyle, and the seemingly endless stream of cash. But what we don't see are the struggles, the pain, and the hardships that come with it. It's easy to get caught up in the allure of social media, the likes, the comments, and the validation. But we need to remember that there's a real person behind those perfectly curated posts. They have their own struggles, their own demons, and their own dark realities that may not be apparent on the surface. As we keep scrolling through Courtney's Instagram feed, you cannot help but wonder how many other influencers and social media stars are silently battling their own demons. How many of them are putting on a mask, hiding their true selves behind a screen? It's really a pretty scary thought. Now, if all of that doesn't shock you, wait till your family members and friends come to know about it. It's one of the biggest nightmares that haunt every OnlyFans model is the menace of screenshots, piracy, and leaked images. It's a harsh reality that we have to face head-on, no matter how much we try to deny it. Despite taking all the precautions, there's no way to prevent it. Trust me, it's practically inevitable. There are countless stories of creators whose content has been leaked, shared, and even sold to other sites without their consent or knowledge. It'll be a gut-wrenching feeling to see your intimate moments being spread across the internet like wildfire, without you having any control over it. It's a violation of our privacy, and it's utterly devastating. But it doesn't end there. There are even networks of OnlyFans subscribers who buy and sell content to each other and to other sites, further perpetuating the cycle of exploitation. It's a cruel reality that you'll have to confront every day, knowing that your most vulnerable moments are being commodified and traded like currency. And if that's not enough, there's the constant fear of coworkers, friends, or even family members stumbling upon your content. It's a ticking time bomb that could explode at any moment, shattering your carefully crafted personas and revealing a side of yourself that you never intended for your personal ties to see. It's a nightmare scenario that'll keep you up at night, and it'll be a constant source of anxiety and distress. Finally, what do you get? After all of this, it doesn't stop there. What you do at OnlyFans can have long-term consequences. It can interfere with your future career prospects. You might be disqualified from certain jobs, such as working with children, or for government agencies that require background checks. And don't forget that it's hard to prevent coworkers and classmates from eventually finding out about your OnlyFans account, which can have social repercussions. But I would say that the most damaging aspect of being on OnlyFans models is how it changes you as a person. It's not just about the physical aspects, but also the emotional toll it takes. Your capacity for intimacy and healthy relationships can be immensely impacted. It's hard to believe that someone would value you for who you are as a person, and not just what you can do for them sexually. It takes a lot of time and effort to recover from the damage inflicted by this kind of mental torture. I'm not saying this to shame or judge anyone who chooses to be an OnlyFans model. It's a personal decision, and everyone has their own reasons for doing it. But I want to shed light on the dark reality that often goes unnoticed. It's not just about the money, but the emotional and mental toll it can take on your well-being. Got it? Anyways, it's time to step back and reflect, guys. It's easy to get swept up in the hype, but it's crucial to understand the complex realities at play, and let's not be blinded by the glitz and glamour. Instead, let's strive for authenticity and empathy in our interactions, both online and offline. So, as we wind up, do drop your comments below if you guys have any stories to tell, so that we can keep the conversation going. Anyways, thanks for joining us on today's episode. We'll meet again with another episode. Until next time.